like a boss.
So I promised myself never to make a video like this, because as a guy, I'll seriously be afraid of knowing that women know these kind of tactics, and that women know how to execute these tactics at a high level, almost as though they're the male seducers. Because guys, they have to master this in order to actually get to a level of seduction where most guys dreamed of. But today's Merry motherfucking Christmas. Well, the eve of it. It's irrelevant to me anyways. And I'm going to show you how to manipulate a man's mind. I'm going to show you how to get deep into his psyche so that the only thing he can think of is you. I'm going to show you how to use a man's insecurities and his vulnerabilities in order to incept his mind and plant your seed of who you are, so that the only person he can think of is yourself. This video and these tactics must be used with a lot of motherfucking caution. And the reason why I'm speaking in a low tone is because my family is around me downstairs, and they're cooking and they're prepping up the food, and my aunts are there, and it's mostly females, and there are some uncles that I really like. So as a result, I cannot let them hear me, because if they do, bye uncle, bye masculinity. So with that being said, let's begin with this character. We're going to be using this character called Joffrey. If any of you guys watched the Game of Thrones, you guys gotta watch Game of Thrones, right? Okay. If any of you guys watch Game of Thrones, you guys know that Joffrey is one evil motherfucker. And so we're going to be using Joffrey as a very exaggerated representation of a man. Why? Because of this. He is a guy he is a king who has insecurities. The reason why he is so cruel is because of his insecurities. So let me show you why he is so insecure, and I'm gonna show you the core reason for his insecurity, and why you as women can use this common insecurity amongst men to literally wrap them around who you are, so that they desire and need your validation. And so the person who we're going to be using is Margaery. Margaery is a character from Game of Thrones that is a master seducer, and she literally knows how to manipulate and take control of the most powerful men in the series. And I'm going to show you how she uses the man's weaknesses in order to empower herself, in order to use him and manipulate him. It's very powerful and dark, and that's why I want you guys to use it with very caution. All right, so let's begin uncovering Joffrey's insecurities. And as you watch this, I want you to see how she uses it, how she uses his weaknesses in order to empower herself. So let's get started.
You let that little girl disarm you.
So the scene this is in the beginning of the show, where he was disarmed by a little girl. Literally, not he wasn't disarmed, but that's the image that he gave away. And so people, he already has in his mind that he's not man enough. His father doesn't view him as a man, and so in his mind he's already inferior. He already has insecurities, and mind you, he's only a kid. I mean, he's a kid. Okay, so he's not even mature. He doesn't know who he is. So he already has these insecurities and these desires to prove himself. But let's keep watching. Now this is gonna be him in his deathbed, and
I should have spent more time with you. Shown you how to be a man. I was never meant to be a father.
Stop. Stop. So, can you see? His whole purpose in life right now is to prove himself to be a man. Is to hide his insecurities and raise himself up. That's why he's so cruel. That's why he mistreats people publicly, because it raises his self-esteem. Okay, so now that we know why he is so insecure, where his weak spot is, let's keep watching and let this unfold, and we're gonna see how Margaery uses this in order to literally manipulate the man.
Fail. Never get to try again. The fall.
So look, you see that? See, he enjoys hunting, right? And he doesn't like to put himself in danger. So rather than hunting, you know what he does? He shot his prostitutes with a bow and arrow, because it made him feel like a man. And you'll see him talking about it later on. Okay, so there's a source to his cruelness. It's his cruelness. It could be used against him. But let's keep watching this. Now, this is another scene, and you're gonna see his desire to appear stronger, his desire to be empowered. So in reality, what he really wants is to feel like a man. And whoever is able to make him feel like a man wins his heart over. See, just notice his insecurities. Just look at his insecurities. Just watch.
Make it tighter here.
That's better.
See? Just see,
It
look at
makes
that.
you look very strong.
No flowers.
He's in my flowers.
I said no
Looks too
flowers.
gay. Too.
All these are wrong. Bring others.
Yes, Your Grace.
Flowers.
See?
I'm the king.
He wants to be known he's the king.
It's like
Remember
Tyrell
that.
Rose. Give it to Margaery for her wedding gown.
That's his key word. I'm a
Should be more
king.
than enough fabric.
But in his mind, he doesn't see that. He sees a weak child. So he's always needs more concept validation.
Tell me what you
Let's
think
keep
of
watching.
Who?
her. Margaery.
She's an ideal match. With the Tyrells beside us, we'll crush the Northerners. Hang their lords, burn their strongholds, sow their fields with salt, and no one will think of rebelling for another century.
Amazing. That.
It is a good match, but what do you think of her? She's beautiful and intelligent.
Yes, she is.
Her concern with the well-being of the common people is interesting.
Not to me.
I only meant that to go out of your way to endanger
It's
yourself.
becoming
is-
one of the most boring conversations I've ever had.
Margaery Tyrell dotes on filthy urchins for a reason. She dresses like a harlot for a reason. She married a traitor and known degenerate like Renly Baratheon for a
She
reason.
married
So
many
you can
Baratheons
see
because she
that.
was told to. That's what intelligent women
Talking
do.
about
What they're
goodness
told.
doesn't work with him.
You need to ask yourself what
I don't
is-
need to do anything.
Look at his mentality. Women are below him. He needs to be strong by putting other people's down. Stop. So his mother's fucking up now because she's telling him what to do. You see? Any signs of... So as a man who's insecure, someone telling him what to do or not being in control makes him feel inadequate. So he'll push you away. So in order to get to his heart, and mind you, this is most guys. Not at the cynical level, but this is most guys. In order to get them to their heart, they have to feel as though they have some form of control. At least the illusion of control. That's all that matters, because perception is reality. You see, the illusion of control. So his mother fucked up by telling him what to do. She has to at least make him feel as though he has the control. Okay, so she's fucking up. So you're gonna see the contrast between what she does and what the other girl does, and it's so fucking amazing. Let's keep watching. So look. Now that we see that, right? We see that what really gets to him is his desire to be superior, right? And so Margaery, in this scene that we're about to watch, we're gonna see Margaery trying to woo him, and we're gonna see what happens when she tries to talk about goodness. You know, because for most normal people with good motherfucking hearts, they want a woman who is giving. So that's not gonna work with him. You see, it's not an all-in-one formula. So the best thing about it is that she adjusts. So this is the scene previous to the scene we're gonna see next. So look at his reaction to her talking about the good that
She
she's
has done
doing.
this sort of charitable work before. I'm sure she knows what she's doing.
Sure she does.
He's like, yeah, charitable work. It's nice, you know. So this just doesn't work on him. So now that she sees this, look at what she does next. This is like during the next date, and look at how she seduces him. Just watch. Again, notice how she plays into his insecurities. Notice the way when she tells him, when she looks into his eyes, she's giving him a suggestion. You are a king. No, you are amazing. And also notice how she plays into his cynicalness. She acts as though she's interested. And yes, the best way to get into a man's heart is through his ego. Not through food, through his ego. Make him feel as though he has control. Make him feel as though he's on top. And above all, make him feel as though he is in the right role as a man and you as the woman. Even though you don't believe that, just give him the illusion, because after you get him, after he sees you as a source of validation, as a source of happiness, he's gonna want you, and he's not gonna want you to leave. Okay, if you validate a man's ego, he's always gonna be coming back for more. So notice how she does it, and there's some acting involved. Remember, I know it's fucked up, but there's some acting involved. Just watch.
Maybe the fault was with me. Maybe.
No,
He's known. Previously to that scene, he was accusing her of being with a traitor. So the way that she diverted the accusation was by saying he was gay, and then she was like, you know what, maybe it was my fault, maybe I wasn't attractive enough, playing the victim. She looked away. What is he gonna do now? He's gonna say, you know what, no, you're right, come here. He's gonna pull her back. All right, acting like the victim. I mean, I had no choice. I mean, maybe it was me. Okay, now he pulls her back, but let's keep watching.
he was a known degenerate.
It's such a relief to hear you
Touch.
say so, Your Grace.
I've considered making his perversion punishable by death.
Affirms him.
As is your right. You must do whatever you need to do.
Make him feel powerful.
You are the king.
Yes,
Look, you see? Yes, I am.
I am.
Makes him feel powerful.
Do you like it? I just
does
had
this
it made,
because
probably one of the finest weapons in the Seven
It's
Kingdoms.
for
It's beautiful. Will you show me how it works?
hunting. Pause. So the reason why she's doing this is because, mind you, hunting from him makes him feel powerful, because he's always been known as weak, so he's always trying to prove himself. So he got that because of that. Okay, and mind you, she dressed up for her. He wanted to look like a king. He didn't want to look like a weak guy. Remember earlier on? So everything right there he's set up. He set up this whole thing just to look like a strong king. And so the strategy that she's employing relative to the last time was, rather than focusing on the things she's doing, she's focusing on him. Remember, when a guy's insecure, he's always noticing himself. He's always in his own head. A guy who is insecure is gonna love talking about himself, especially about the things that makes him feel strong and as a man. So what you have to do is find out what makes him feel strong. What makes him, not what interests him, but what makes him feel strong. What does he have competitive desire for? And encourage him to do that. Talk to him. Ask him to teach you. All right. So the thing is it has to be something that he really, really loves and showing interest. But
Show
let's
me
keep
how
watching.
it works.
You see, eye contact, close,
It's a new design.
smile,
Much
and notice the way his voice changed. It's a new design. You see that? I'm a little surprised because I didn't notice that too. This is amazing acting. It's incredible.
much easier to load. There's no crank. You use this lever to draw the string.
I'll make sure my timer is working.
The bolt goes here. And then you just aim. And
Smile. Now, mind you, one of the things in seduction is isolation. If you want to seduce a guy, isolate him. Because if he's around people, it's too much influence. The best way to seduce a guy is to make sure he's isolated, and above all, make sure that he has insecurity. Isolate him, you one-on-one, and in that one-on-one session, try to stroke his ego as much as you can. Remember, you're playing the long game. This is gonna be engraved in his mind that you're the source of happiness, the source of the source of the feeling that he desires, which is to feel like a man.
that's not unheard of.
My father would never let me before I...
You no longer belong to him. Do you want to
You see, she's knowing her place. She's playing this. She's playing this. Not one thing that she say goes against his belief system. Keep watching.
Hold it.
May I? Please.
Looks like the pool, you know, when guys play pool, trying to be slick.
I imagine it must be so exciting to squeeze your finger here and
She's playing to his
watch something
cynicalness.
die over there.
Look at his face. He's like, oh my god, my dream woman. You see that shit?
Could you do it?
He takes pleasure in that.
Could you?
And the
Kill.
reason why she's doing that is because she's acting as
I don't
though
know, Your Grace. Do you
she's
think I
under
could?
his control in reality. She's the one who's controlling
Would you
him.
like to watch me?
It's fucking deceptive and sexy though.
Yes.
Rhaenyra Targaryen was murdered by her brother, or
You see?
rather, his dragon. It ate her while her son watched. What's left of her is buried in the crypt.
She has to
right
smile
down
and
there.
agree, you see? What the fuck?
Ceremony is traditionally held in the main sanctum, which seats 700 comfortably.
There appears to be a good deal of room elsewhere on the premises.
See, she's
for
acting
everyone
like she's
else.
interested in all of the things.
There aren't more than
But
700
not just
people of any
anything.
importance.
The things
No,
that strokes
the
his
rest
ego.
are there to look adoringly upon the 700 to remind them how superior they must be to have the best seats.
Over there, in that urn, the ashes
So for
of
the seduction to
Aeryn
work, you gotta
Targaryen,
step
Aeryn
away from
Brightflame,
yourself.
they call them. He
And-
thought
and get
drinking
deep into his
wildfire would
mind.
turn him into a dragon.
And the way to do that is
He was
use a
wrong.
vehicle of his ego and find out what
course,
really
there's the
excites
Mad
him, makes him
King.
feel like a man.
Killed by my uncle. Would you like to see where the last Targaryens are buried?
Are you sure Lady Margaery doesn't find
Some
all this a
cynical
bit
fucking shit
bizarre?
that he's
Oh,
talking
no, it's
about.
quite all right, Your Grace. I'd love to see their tombs, really. It's like taking a walk through history.
The tomb's just up here.
This is so exciting.
You were married here, Your Grace?
Yes. My father didn't want them here. He was going to have their bodies burned and thrown in the Blackwater, but the High Septon convinced him otherwise.
I'm glad he did. I'm sorry, Your Grace. I know they did terrible things at the end, but their ancestors built this. Sometimes severity is the price we pay for greatness.
This shit, what the fuck did she has to, I gotta pause this right now. She has to have known that those are the things that he loves. So she's listening. You see, she's playing into what he likes. And playing into the things that he is close to him and what makes him feel like a man. It just cannot be any other thing. It has to be on the things that strokes his ego. I cannot emphasize that any stronger than that. But the problem is that women, a lot of times when you settle with a guy, the reason why he loses interest is because you don't stroke his ego enough. Seduction is a process of a lifetime. It's not just a one thing. It's not just a one thing kind of deal. Now, in this scene, push a man to do what he fears. Push a man to do what he fears. Know his fears, but what he know the fears that's stopping him from achieving what he desires, which is the praise and his desire to feel strong. Push him to do that and help him achieve it, and he will forever never forget you. I'm telling you. The girls there's been a few girls in my life that have really captured my attention, and all of them helped me face a fear. Every single one of them helped me attack my fears, helped me strive for higher. And those are the ones that I remember. And those are the ones that stroked my ego because they made me feel strong. So the way to seduce the guy is to empower him. Especially if the guy is insecure. The more insecure, the better. And the more space you have to work with. Keep watching.
Shall we go and see them?
Giving him a fantasy,
If you give them your love,
a dream.
they will return.
She becomes a vehicle for his
1,000-fold.
fantasies. Just this
I've spoken with them. I know how they feel about you.
strong, powerful.
You led the defense of King's
see that?
Landing.
Look at,
They adore you.
she's empowering him. Now, when you
Open the doors.
incredible, yeah. It's absolutely incredible. See, she's beating her mother out. She knows what she's doing. She's losing him.
Joffrey,
See?
wait.
Helping him do that, he's already admiring her. But because he empowers her, he empowers him, she doesn't mind. So look, she's bringing him out of his shell. You see, she's bringing him out of his shell, and guys want that. Guys want a woman who's able to bring that out, bring the greatness out of you. Seduction is not about being greedy. It's about being strategic and your ability to empathize and understand people. It requires patience. And so just talking to a guy and talking about yourself is not going to work. Very rare do I find a woman who does the things that she does. Very rare do I find a woman who acts as though she's interested into the things that I do. Actually, no, I'm lying. A lot of women do. But very rarely do women actually capitalize and use it for their advantage, for manipulation at such a high level. And as women, you have to know that your allure comes from your beauty and your youth. As a result, you have to learn to use the psychological tactics for when you grow older. Your beauty fades, but your brains and your tactics get stronger. And so it'll take you up to, it'll hold you down as you get older. Give you a huge advantage over other women. Anyways, this is how you seduce a guy. And I find it extremely fascinating. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And Merry Christmas to you. Bye-bye.